Hello everyone, I am Crawlers and this is another episode of Ridiculous Loadout. As you may have already known, uh, this is a series I started way back when in the Battlefield 3 days, about a year ago, basically whoring myself out for cheap views, running a suggested loadout from one of you in the comments section. Mostly this is a not so tactical series where most of the loadouts are either troll or bad or just plain ugly looking. Really, I get a chance to try out a kit, a combination that I haven't thought of before, and maybe have good results with it. Mostly not though. So, a fun little loadout today comes suggested by a Tristan Vanamel. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. I'm gonna just continue on like I know what I'm doing here. Of an AK-5C with a hollow sight and a suppressor, a tri-beam laser, and a potato grip. Also an M9 as my sidearm with a suppressor. He suggested I also use the RGO impact grenades and the grenadier field upgrade and any class. Well, to the best of my knowledge, the Grenadier Field upgrade only comes with the Medic Assaulter class, so that is what I used. And luckily in Battlefield 4, the AK-5C is considered a carbine and, therefore available to all classes. Obviously, I also have the Medpack and the pedals as my two gadgets of choice. Now, as the AK-5C in Battlefield 4, no wait, actually in real life, do not mistake it for the Kalashnikov assault rifles. The AK-5C is the Swedish automatic carbine 5, and the C version is actually a Bofors variant of the AK-5, which was apparently a real deep modernization and apparently so much so it could have been called a new carbine and not a modification. But as these things go sometimes, it's easier to pass a new thing off as a modification of the old model. Take for example the Russian Tu-22M bomber. It's technically a new airplane, but it was passed off as a modernization, hence the M in the name, of the Tu-22 bomber. Now, some people will say it was because the Russians tried to sneak the new airplane under the radar, pun intended, of the strategic arms limitation talks with the USA. But my grandfather, who worked in the industry then, would tell you that it was probably because it was easier for Tupolev to justify the budget for a new airplane. Same with the STG-44 German assault rifle, by the way. I believe Hitler technically didn't allow new weapons to be developed that late in the war, so it was snuck in sort of without the assault rifle designation, I believe. I may be wrong, but I remember seeing something like that in a documentary once. But enough about all that nonsense. Let's talk about Battlefield 4. In Battlefield 4, it's the best carbine without a doubt, and in fact it remained my top weapon right until I did a loadout episode with the M249 SAW. So, right now it's my second best weapon in Battlefield 4, but not by much. Reason is, as I said, it's got the best stats of any carbine in Battlefield 4, and as a carbine, it's available to all classes, so it literally becomes a jack of all trades. My favorite use of the AK-5C has to be with the engineer class and with the hollow sight magnifier, potato grip or an angle grip, and no suppressor and no laser. But as I said, it goes pretty well with all classes. The reason the AK-5C is on top of all the other carbines becomes apparent when you take a look at its stats. While it has the standard damage model for a 5.56 round of 25 at 8 meters, which drops off to 15.4 at 50 meters, it comes into its own in other areas. It has the best muzzle velocity of any carbine at 630 meters a second, which obviously is very good because a fast bullet reaches the target faster and you don't have to lead as much or spend as much ammo until you see the results. And it also has a very healthy rate of fire of 700 rounds per minute. It also has the second lowest first shot multiplier of any carbine of only 1.65, which is only 5/100ths higher than that of the G36C carbine. Not to mention its recoil up is not so bad at all, at only 0.32 and 0.2 left and right, which isn't horrible either, obviously. The AK-5C also has a freaky fast tactical reload time of only 1.85 seconds, and that's M4's territory, by the way, so you know it's fast. And 2.35 seconds long reload is also the shortest among all carbines. So, yet another bonus for the AK-5C. Now, I know this is supposed to be a ridiculous loadout, ironically named almost insta-kill, but this kit contains some accessories I wouldn't use on the AK-5C. For example, it's true that the laser does add about a third to the hipfire accuracy. I can't tell you exactly how much because I haven't calculated those numbers, sorry, and Simtic hasn't either apparently. But I'll tell you this, I don't like to use the laser attachment on anything but maybe PTWs because all it does is just give my position away, which is kind of redundant if you're using a suppressor on this bad boy. And again, the silencer is not something to use on the AK-5C because it goes against everything it stands for. For example, the carbine actually has the highest muzzle velocity in the bunch, but that bonus is immediately taken away by using the subsonic rounds for the suppressor, which in Battlefield 4 fly at a painful 330 meters a second for this particular carbine. Now, granted, even a slow bullet will kill. Hell, if I throw my Ushanka hat hard enough and fast enough out of some sort of, I don't know, energy particle accelerator, it would kill as well, but, this won't kill anyone quickly enough. Not nearly insta-kill, of course. And by the way, side note, in Battlefield 4, the suppressor doesn't act the same as it did in Battlefield 3. I mean, it does slow down the round, mostly because you're using the subsonic rounds, and it still drops like a stone over distance as the round travels slower, but it doesn't move the damage drop off closer to you as it did in Battlefield 3. So, the damage is the same no matter what for that gun, for that particular gun. Now, I can appreciate using the potato grip on this carbine as it buffs the spread a tiny bit, or in fact, I'd use something like an angled grip, which does a very good job to buff the first shot multiplier recoil. But the potato grip just looks so epic. I'd equip it even if it did nothing, no matter what. Now, I think all Battlefield 4 needs is a vodka grip, and I think we'd all be set. And as I said, I think this is one of the best weapons in the game all around. Certainly the best carbine in Battlefield 4, you know. All it needs is the right glove and a couple of accessories. The magnifier works very well on the AK-5C, for example. Now, as for the M9 with the suppressor, it's not actually that good. Again, most of the blame actually falls on the fact that it equips the suppressor. I mean, the standard M9 is actually semi-good, but, certainly not top in any field, doing a maximum damage of 27 at 8 meters, which falls off to 12.1 at 55 meters. It has one of the top muzzle velocities of 380 meters a second, and one of the top rates of fire, namely 400 rounds per minute, which obviously means it's a bit of a spam pistol, but unfortunately the muzzle velocity of the standard M9, which used to be pretty good, is needlessly wasted when you're using the suppressor, tuning it to a shameful 180 meters a second. Other than that, it has one of the larger clips of the bunch at 15 rounds and one of the better vertical recoils of only 0.45 per shot. Its reload speed of 1.3 seconds with one in the chamber and 1.6 seconds completely empty is kind of alright. So, the pistol itself isn't gonna kill anything anytime soon, but unless maybe you spam it horribly and go through the whole clip and maybe get lucky and a couple of shots land. But other than that, it's not an insta-kill in any shape, way, or form. So, this setup, although I did have some fun with it, is not anywhere close to an insta-kill level. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Ridiculous Loadout, and now because I don't feel like suffering alone, Tristan must also run this loadout and upload it to YouTube, and I'll accept the link down below in the comments as a reply. So thanks for watching. Please rate and share this video as it helps my channel grow. Check out my other videos at the end of this one. And remember, in Soviet Russia, YouTube subscribes you.